People want to spend their time, their efforts, their energy towards coming up against you, talking foul on your name, you know, playing one way to your face, playing like they love you and disrespecting you behind your back. People don't want to put respect on your name. People don't want to honor you and who you are. Just honor you for the kind of person that you've been to them, and respect who you are as a person in order to respect your boundaries as well. I tell you all the time, whatever people don't answer for in this lifetime, they'll answer for it in the next. So if people, again, want to choose to use their time, their efforts, their strength, and their energy to go up against you in whatever shape, way, form, or fashion that they've been doing so, let it be. And let them do it. Because through the attacks, is God's provision for you. Because when people attack you and you overcome, that is proof of his power that surrounds you, that protects you, and that keeps you. So many times y'all have prayed and asked God, why you just didn't let me die in battle? Why you just didn't let me weep and mourn myself into a sunken stupor? And God has told you time and time again, because, and I've told you as well, that you are one of his strongest, you are one of his best, you're one of the few that's true and that's honest to your cause and to your mission. No matter how, you feel me, people may feel like it don't serve you. It's these people that's done you a disservice, not God. These people have done you such a disservice. To the worst kind of humiliation and defeat a person can go through is having those that pretended to love them, that should have loved them because of the roles and the access that they had in your life, but they disrespected you, and wanted you defeated behind your back. When someone plays that, best believe whatever they did behind your back, there were people who caught on, there were people who saw, and then those people who saw had no respect for you. Those people who saw felt like they had to turn on you and leave you destitute, because they felt like nobody was truly on your side. But I always tell you, you are walking proof, living proof of who God is, what he teaches, you know, what he wants us to be. You may not be perfect. A lot of people may not respect what I just said, but I'm telling you, who you are as a person and how you treated people can be seen. People just choose not to see, and they choose not to see because to see is to know that how they did you was foul and was wrong, how they feel about you too. And I tell you, whether these are mothers, fathers, aunts, cousins, sisters, brothers, ex-friends, ex-foes, strangers, people that you once lived with, your baby father, your baby mother, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, from whatever distant land that they came from. These people did you a disservice by giving other people ammunition and power over you, by showing people that they had not 1 ounce of love in their bone, in their body, in their spirit for you. And that's something that you will have to live with. But I'm going to tell you something. That's also something that they will have to live with. Because let me tell you something, what I know. You ain't the type of person that got to circle around and beat the block to sit up here and apologize to anybody, because you ain't never did anybody wrong. People did you wrong. And I keep telling you, them lies always got a funny way of exposing itself and garnering respect for you when you never vouched for it and asked for it. You get what I'm saying? Because you had some of the people's worst enemies. I mean, these people were feared above God, because it was almost like to upset these people would be the worst thing that you could ever do, because when they hold a grudge, they hold it forever. But like I said, when you sit up here and you come up against a chosen one, you understand me, you may cause a temporary suffering, a temporary cycle, or whatever it is that they have to go through. And what I mean by temporary, I don't know how long you will have to endure it. I just know it will be temporary. But for that temporary suffering that they caused you is a lifelong of pain and suffering that they will have to go through. That's going to pass. I said, a gift that keeps on giving, that's never going to stop giving, because it's going to give in generations and generations to come for these people because of what they did to his innocent. It says it in Psalms 36, 91, 104. Touch not his anointed, do his prophets no harm. It doesn't matter how many come up against you, he will give you power over your enemies to tread them underfoot. It's a fool who think that they can do wickedness and that it not be seen. and nobody takes a record of it. Best believe if it's being seen, there's someone taking a record of it. If someone taking a record of it, that means you're liable to get whatever energy, whatever acts you took up against somebody, you're liable to get that right back up in your life, or your kids feel it, or your kids feel it. And however it comes back and manifests and unfolds in your life, it could be in the form of sickness, of decay in your body. I keep telling you, baby, you got to watch whatever it is that you feel, when you could easily go somewhere and go get therapy and go heal and get over whatever it is, whatever grudge these people holding up against you. Because I guarantee you got everything to do with who you are. Let me tell you something. You ain't the type of person that will sit around and hold a grudge. These people hold a grudge against you for things that you can't even control, because people really wanted you out here defeated, and people signed up to want to have you defeated for frivolous reasons, such as your belief system, such as trying to condemn every waking, living thing, moving thing up in your life that was positive, to try to get you to detour away from your path and your faith. People wanted you out here so bad so that you would feel like God was doing this to you. People out here saying the worst things about you. You a bad witch, you a warlock, you a soothsayer, you evil. That's why life went the way it went for you. That you a hoe, you a whoremonger, you ain't got no sense, you a dick sucker, you ain't good to lay but on your back and receive nothing. You don't know how to hold this, you can't keep this, you will never have this, you'll always look like this. People expected you to look a certain way after what you had been through. But not only did you not look what you had been through, baby, you overcame what most people would have been defeated in, what most people would have failed. You succeeded. And I just keep saying, it's almost like God is saying, come on, come all, baby, because by you sitting up here and going up against someone of whom I'm keeping, I'm sustaining, and I'm maintaining, you would never be able to have this person the way that you want them. I don't care if you mock them and you laugh at them for the tangible things in life and the materialistic possessions that they may not possess right now. Best believe, let me tell you something, when I usher them into a season where there's nothing but favor, who I'm talking to? When I usher them into a season where there's nothing but increase, who am I talking to? When I usher them into a season where they can't do no wrong, because nothing wrong will happen up in their life, and there won't be a thing that you're going to be able to do to stop it. Nothing that you speak, no form of brujeria, santeria, witchcraft, voodoo, okay, voodoo dolls that people sitting up there with their stupid asses messing with. And I hate to use that kind of a language, but I tell you, I don't know what kind of a hole or crack or crevice that these people snuck up in, but I tell you on everything I love, when I tell you that they're being forced back into it and under it, that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb, Fleeces White Snow. And I'm going to say it again for the people in the back, for the haters in the valley. Watch who you put your mouth and your finger on. Watch who you try to condemn, defeat, and monitor to block. Baby, you ain't never tried to be nobody but yourself. So I don't know where all these people coming from sitting up here want to hate you. This ain't about who shot John and who bought the gun and loaded it. They thought they was going to put it to your temple and that you was going to break and you was going to roll over and you was going to die. They were highly and sorely mistaken. That's it. And furthermore, besides the point, these plans needed to fail in order for people to sit back and be like, this is what we truly signed up to do. This is what you really want done to somebody. And this is why these people are fearful of these people who went up against you, because of their mindset. They ain't got it screwed on too tight. You can't go up against these people and tell them no. You can't walk away from them. They could do it to you. They could say whatever it is they want to say about you. They could sit up here and be a fake friend to you. They could sit up here and walk away and do whatever kind of mess and foolishness to you, but you can't do it back to them. And then furthermore, besides the point, these people wanted to run some kind of a circus and wanted you to be the clown. They wanted to keep telling jokes and wanted you to be the butt of the jokes. They wanted you to keep being a punching bag. And when you woke up one day and you said, why should I have to tolerate this when I don't have to? It's so much life ahead of me. They were trying to condemn the life that you had ahead of you. Watch them people that say, oh, but you got such a bright future. Oh, but such good things going to happen to you. It's almost like these people try to play in your, they did. I would be saying the disservices I sat up here and tried to undermine, you know what I'm saying, what it is that these people did to you. No, these people did you a disservice. They did you a disservice. Sitting up here and choosing to be fake to you. You know what I'm saying? They knew they had to play a role. This is the thing. I wouldn't be looking at how many people is going up against my chosen ones that's tuning into this message right now. That's besides the point. I would be looking at these people who signed up to play a role, knew they had to play a role, in order to collect bones, right? They wanted to collect these bones from you in order to exploit these bones, right? And then people wanted to take the bones that people was bringing to them and sitting up here. Everybody want to rumor. Everybody want to gossip. Everybody want to turn away. Everybody want to judge. Everybody want to play you to your face. Everybody wants, oh, I'm so proud of you. Making faces behind your back. Going around disrespecting you. Telling people to disrespect you. Telling people, sending people up in your life to sit up here and cause you nothing but chaos, destruction, and ruin up in your life. And they wanted it to remain a secret. Because they knew that their evil couldn't be explained. There would be no explanation of that. There would be no explanation of why they wired the way that they're wired and set up. So they have to keep it a secret. And then people wanted to sit up here and play roles, and not one single person had any ounce of sense or respect to look at you in such a way to say, you know what, even if I may not like you, I feel for you. And because I feel for you, I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to pray for you, because you got a whole heap of enemies that I don't know what the problem, but I'm going to pray that God solve them. And see, you had nobody around you that did that. They took these bones, they stood there, and they allowed these people to bring these bones to them, meaning they didn't want to look at the fact that something was wrong with them. They wanted to look at everything that was wrong with you. And see, that's the problem. But this is the world that we live in. I keep telling you, God makes no mistakes. Anything that happened to you was not a punishment. Okay, it was not your final sentence. It was lessons that you had to endure. One thing that you were proving to people, one thing for certain, two things for sure. You understand me? Baby, if it's one of your gifts is at the top, it's in the top 10, you know how to endure. You know how to persevere. You know how to overcome. You are the combat king and queen of this generation, of this time, the face of it. A lot of people cannot do what you do, and it's because of that they envy you and they sign up with other people to want to see you defeated, because they can't do what you do. They can't pull through what you pulled through. You floated on top of what most people would have drowned in. But nobody wanted to recognize that. So again, I wouldn't be looking at the fact that something was wrong with you. Ain't nothing wrong to whoever it is that's tuning into my message. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Something is wrong with the people who chose to play in your face and disrespect you behind your back. Disrespect you in such a way where if anybody that was close to you, that was blood related, supposed to be a so-called friend on whom you can depend, will be there and stand the test of time. Baby, if you stranded, pay for your plane ticket to send you back to the nearest person that you know is a family member or somebody that you can go live with. Will tell you, go back and fix your marriage. Go get your man. Go get your woman. Will put food up in your refrigerator because it's not that you asked. It's that they see that you need it and they supposed to be a friend. Anybody that's a friend that's up in your circle, baby, you're supposed to be the support. So they're to help. They're there to back that person, no matter what is being said about that person. No matter what somebody wants for that person. No matter what it is that you see, that you like, that you want. You wouldn't dare take that step. You wouldn't dare commit that act against a friend and lose whatever kind of form of partnership, relationship, or friendship that you've built with that person. Because let me tell you something. I'm going to go back and I'm going to reiterate it. I'm going to go back. You ain't that type of person that got to go back and circle around and beat the bot to apologize to anybody. Because you are that type of person that don't do people wrong. So contrary to popular belief and opinion, I don't know what's being said out there in them streets. But I'm here to set the record straight. Baby, when you walk for a reason. And when you walk, you stay gone. It wouldn't be somebody ending up on their deathbed, a repast, a funeral in sight that could sit up here and get you back in these people's good graces. They not finna use whatever tragedy that they're going through or about to go through to pull on your heartstrings. That's how bad they did you. That's how bad they left you out there and kept wanting you to be left out there in the cold to rot. It's like they kept throwing you, every time they kept throwing you back, kept throwing you in the fire. It's like, why won't you just burn? Well, why do you keep lighting the fire? See, people gotta use the sense that God give them instead of trying to go out here and do foolishness. You need to do the right thing. And maybe you'll be in the right way. But because of what you sign up to do, because of what you feel, because you won't go somewhere and go heal, here's the deal. You can't fault nobody for what it is that you're going through or what you're experiencing or those around you that you consider to be those that you love and that you want the best for. But everybody in your camp is suffering, including you, because you at the head of foolishness, of bigotry, of treason, of betrayal, of lies, of deceit against an innocent. I don't care how much you lie, baby. Your life is proof of who you are and what you do. The only reason why you was going through a suffering period, it's not because of who you are and the wrong that you do and the wrong that you speak and what you believe. It's because of what people wanted for you. They wanted people to think that, and you to think too, that you was going through what you was going through because of God. Baby, no. You was going through what you was going through because of what people wanted for you, and they didn't want to let up and they didn't want to stop. So like I said, I wouldn't be looking at you being the problem. I would be looking at the people who sat up here and played up in your face, that mother, that father, that aunt, that cousin, that so-called friend, that so-called baby daddy, baby mother, that lover of yours. People always want to come around, and the thing is, they want to say what they want to say. It's almost like you got to walk around with a tape recorder with these people and catch the receipts out here, since people want to catch bodies. Because so many people will lie. They will lie because they don't want to have to admit that they've been jealous of you. They don't want to have to explain their evil. I keep telling you, because it's unexplainable. So it's easy to lie. But instead of going to deal with those feelings, they harbored those feelings against you and wanted the absolute worst for you as a child. Well, who can do anything as a child to get anybody on their wrong side? It's almost like these people knew who you were. I told you they saw before you saw. But to wrap this up, like I said, if they don't pay for it in this lifetime, they're going to pay for it in the next. But you have to answer for what you've done. You understand what I'm saying? You chose a side. Now you got to stick to it. People want to be mad because you ain't. Why would you circle the block? Why would you sit up here and beat the block to explain anything to these people and have any kind of sympathy or empathy for them when they did you the way that they did you? They knew that it was playing you and disrespecting you behind your back. They knew that they gave people that was connected to them, girlfriends and boyfriends and friends of friends and family members. When you sit up there and you go around somebody and people can see you going around this person, they seen this person, they know who you are. You done showed up to family events and functions before. They know who you are. You done went public with these people before. They know who you are. And then in the same token, the same right, knowing who you are, they see these people putting you down the second that you walk out the door, the second that you ain't around to a function that they invite you to because they wanted to shit talk you, the second that you sit up here and stop going around, stop being a friend, they sitting up here throwing you up under the bus. But don't nobody, it's like people forget the wrong that they did, but they wanted to create an illusion that you was the wrongdoer. I beg to differ. One thing about it, you gonna stand in your truth. If you did wrong, you did wrong. If you want to come back and feel like it's something you need to apologize for, you would have done that. You don't, when you walk out of people's life, the reason why you don't look back and you don't turn back and you don't go back is because you will never forget. Even though you forgave, you will never forget how people treated you. You will never forget how they put you down, because that's hurt that you got to deal with on your chest, on your back every single day. And you have managed to navigate how to heal from that and rise above it all. When people thought that you would drown and that you would fail and you would let it hinder you and block you, how so many people did not want the best for you, how it pained them to see you on the rise. That's why people was like goating you when they knew you was on the losing end of the stick. Oh, what car you gonna buy today? And you finna change your hair today? What you finna get? You finna get that 30-inch, that 45-inch? Oh, hold on. What you say? What you say? You done got your kid the new what? Oh, you done got the new place and you done got the new this? Oh, that costs money, don't it? Baby, let me tell you something. I don't care if that's verbatim how it went or how people was goating you, whether they did it to your face or they was mocking you behind your back. One thing that people can never be able to say that you are able to do that they would never be able to do, because let me tell you something, they was able to do it, people will be able to stand 10 toes down in their truth. At least you keep it real. At least you keep it a bean, you keep it 100, you keep it a buck. No matter if you did wrong, no matter if you doing right, no matter, baby, if you up, no matter if you struggling, you down, you gonna own it, you gonna speak it, you gonna tell other people and help other people. So I don't know what this is that people trying to hold over you because of who you are and what you want to do with your life, because it's your life. It's always something to do with your own life. I don't know what it is. And I don't know what demonic possession and overcame these people and took them in. But I'm going to tell you something. God going to take them out. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. Please just white snow. Play with it. Don't play with me. If any of these messages resonate with you, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And tell a friend to join the JC gang. Reach one, teach one. Because I don't know what it is. But I'm telling you, baby, if God got to snuff every single last one of your enemies out one by one, that's exactly what he's prepared to do. And it's going to teach people a lesson. You understand what I'm saying? You sit out here and you want the worst for somebody. You want evil for somebody because you are dealing with unexplainable evil yourself. There's nothing that you've done that bad to deserve what it is that you went through. You just were around devils. And that's just the bottom line. But I'm going to tell you something. You garnered respect even though you didn't vouch for it, even though you didn't pine for it. Because everybody knows it's not a hidden secret, maybe hidden from you. But like I said, they were playing one way to your face, disrespecting you behind your back. Everybody know about that disrespect that people served you behind your back. And whatever was served behind your back that caused whatever pains, suffering, whatever, people saw you handle it. They saw you endure it. They saw you overcome it. Even though you had all odds against you, baby, stacked against you, tough, thick this time. Because when I tell you, people gloated in the fact that you were there and they didn't want to help you. Then they wanted to take more off. Then they wanted to add more. But nobody was helping. Nobody was genuine. All this hate, all this madness going on that people live with day in and day out. And it manifests in the evil that they want for other people's lives. I would separate myself and get far, far away from anybody that wants to work for somebody and sits up here and can conspire and orchestrate it and be diligent and dutiful towards mess and evil rather than towards bettering their life or bettering somebody else's life. Criminals in the utmost degree, baby. And I'm going to tell you something. Whatever region, distant land, background these people come from, sitting up here messing with things of which they do not have no idea, that's what's going to be their demise. It's either going to take their ass out, take their mind out. They ain't going to be the same after it's all said and done. And then at that point, it's not going to be funny no more. Because, see, they wasn't supposed to be laughing at each other in the group. They were supposed to come together and do this to only be laughing at you, the outsider of the group. But you see how God works? When they keep trying to sit up here and defame your character and your name, baby, if nobody else believed, the truth could be staring these people straight up in their face, they still would want to believe a lie about you. Because the lie keeps the hate brewing. The lie keeps whatever it is they want to keep up going. But one day something going to sit these people down that's going to make them reevaluate their life and what's more important and what they need to prioritize. And they'll let it up. I guarantee you that. Because you ain't the problem. You ain't never been the issue. And you ain't the one, not the two, and ain't never been the three.